about to be 31 in April, and this is the only thing. Yeah, what? What'd you say?
Damn.
You said damn?
He's not even that old.
You're right, actually. It's my bedtime. Let me go to sleep.
Alright, so this video and this panel comes to us from the folks over at Game on Expo on YouTube, who also hold a convention. I believe it's in Phoenix, Arizona. This one in particular took place in early March of this year, and what's really cool and special about this panel is that aside from the official Square Enix appearances, this is technically the largest Final Fantasy VII Rebirth panel cast reunion we've ever gotten. So at the convention, for the very first time promoting Final Fantasy VII was Cody Christian, voice actor for Cloud, and Tyler Hoechlin, who is the English voice of Sephiroth. Britt Baron, who is Tifa, was there, John Eric Bentley as Barrett, Brianna White was there, Susie Young, who is Yuffie, and J. Michael Tatum, who is the voice of Sid. We haven't seen too much of him at these panels, but it's pretty cool that they were all there. They did public signings, they did group photo sessions. It looked like a really fun time. Now, unfortunately, Tyler Hoechlin is not part of this panel. He was scheduled for a Saturday appearance only. This panel took place the following day on Sunday morning, which is a bummer, but hopefully in the future we'll get, panels that have everyone in the cast, and it'll be cool to just see them interact and kind of get their thoughts on where the game is at so far. And something else to look forward to very quickly, in August, I believe there is another convention that the actors will be attending, and that is MCM London. And what's interesting about that panel is that it takes place in August. Hopefully by then, we should have some information on 7 Remake Part 3, so it'll be interesting to see if they can share any info at that panel in regards to Part 3. Probably not. Those Square Enix ninjas, they'll get ya. But either way, this panel should be a lot of fun. Now, if you're someone who just wants to watch the panel, you don't want to hear me yap, because I tend to yap a lot and I stop and start a lot, I'll leave a link in the description to just the panel itself so you can just check it out without me yapping. All right, let's get started. Ooh, that's loud. Ooh, that's a cool setup. That's cozy. Couches. Looks like a comfortable, cozy basement setup. Hey, there's J. Michael Tatum, voice of Sid. Lovely guy. Oh, there's a Batman poster in the corner. Susie Young, collecting acting roles like they're Infinity Stones. She's wonderful. John, what a sweetheart. Incredible man.
The lovely, the wonderful
Britt Baron, I don't know who that is. I guess she's kind of pretty and stuff, If you don't know, I have got a massive crush on Britt Baron. She is so lovely. Brianna's so wonderful as Aerith. Hey!
Last but not least, we've been cheering for the wonderful Cody Christian!
Yeah, this is Cody's first panel appearance. This is cool. Oh god, it's so cramped.
Guys, look at our gorgeous cast. Round of applause one more time.
It's a really great group of people.
Alright. Can you guys hear us? Yes. Hi, hello. How's everyone's weekend so far? Amazing. Thank you. On behalf of all of us, thank you so much for coming out. It means the world to us, truly.
From what I saw online, this event was nuts. Everyone's table for signings was sold out. Tyler, I think, was like the first in line, and then Cody. It was massive. This was a huge, huge convention. Especially since Tyler and Cody don't normally do conventions to promote FF7. This was a big deal.
What a couch. And couches. Gorgeous. Do you like what we've done with the place, you guys?
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's nice,
Isn't
right?
this awesome?
Yeah,
That's a cool setup.
Yeah, there you go, there's your.
OG FF7.
It's like being in your granny's living room. Like, I love it.
Or your parents' living room.
Or your parents. Or just mine. Or just mine. Guys, like, this has been quite a journey, you know, and when you started off taking these roles,
Turn it up just a smidge.
what did you envisage for that journey ahead? I mean, we're all sitting here now in front of these beautiful people, but what did you as actors envisage for that road? Who wants to start?
I'll start.
Yeah, Cody.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't see too far ahead. I was so nervous and apprehensive the first game. I was just hoping and praying that when the first game came out, there would be a level of acceptance and I wasn't gonna get fired and replaced. You know, such a shitty job. You know, so I didn't, when I started it, I didn't really see what could come to fruition. So it's been a very pleasant surprise. I have to say, like, every session compounded after the first game got released, after the second game came out, and, you know, actively working on the third one. It's been such a joy, and every single time there's an immense amount of gratitude that hits me, and being able to come out and
Audio just got really clear.
I think it was just New York Comic-Con where I was able to come and speak on behalf of this character in this game. Being here this weekend has been so incredible for me, just to meet everybody and hear the testimonials and hear how much this game truly means, and all of our parts and all that we've kind of, you know, given to this game. This is what we're doing it for, right? It's like, this is real fan service. This IP is bigger than all of us and will be bigger than all of us. So I think all of us are just incredibly grateful to be a part of the journey.
Thanks, Cody.
Cody nails it as Cloud. I've showered him with a lot of praise on the channel over the years, but it's so satisfying to see this group of actors who truly understand their characters. Not to throw any shade at the previous cast, I loved them. Steve Burton, you know, was my Cloud growing up. But this is a different iteration, and I think everyone does a spectacular job. And when you hear them talk about the characters, like, I think, like, the first thing Cody said about Cloud is that he's just a big old goofball, and I'm like, he gets it. His performance is wonderful. There's a lot of nuance there when it comes to Cloud, a lot of layers to that character and the relationships around him, and he nails it consistently.
Of course, you know, when you're at conventions, as you said, your people are telling you about how much you've changed their lives, how much you mean to them, but has there been a moment that really made you pause? You know, when you kind of have an outer body experience and you go, oh, that's the clicking moment, that's how I'm affecting things. Has there been a moment, a story?
I had 5 of those moments
Okay.
yesterday.
Right.
But I'm gonna only share one, but I mean, 2 of them are right there. It's just like, wow. You know, to be able to, well, see journeys. And usually, I was talking to Cody last night, we usually get to see people and meet people, but we never see the result afterwards most of the times. And I got to see families that I hadn't seen in a while, and people out in Arizona that we've talked before, and they're like, I'm doing good, I'm no longer dealing with anxiety, and I'm thank you, and da-da-da. But there was a guy yesterday, met him in Riverside, and he came out here. He said, John, you may not remember me. He said, I was 319 pounds. And he said, look at me now. And he's 238 pounds.
Wow.
And he said, yeah, I don't know if he's here or not.
That's huge.
But he shared that, and then he pointed down the line, and he looked at Brianna, and he looked at Britt. He said, and they kept me accountable. And so when you realize that as a team, you get to influence people's lives in a positive manner, and you and I are very tight. You know how I feel about just being able to bring joy wherever we go. Yeah. But y'all don't have a clue how much joy you bring us with the testimonies and the stories that you tell us. And so I thank you all, but we don't usually get to see that side of it. So thank you for sharing your hearts. We love y'all so much.
Thanks, John.
That's so cool, man. Whether it's video games or movies or TV shows or books or a really good record, to be moved by something that inspires you to want to be a better person, that's an incredible feeling. I just gave myself chills. But FF7 in particular, the characters are so relatable. The story is still very relevant to what's happening, in the world today. And to see these types of characters and it motivates someone to want to be better. And I can relate to who John was talking about. Growing up, I was very heavy. I think at my heaviest, I may have been like 225 pounds. And over the years, I've struggled like with my weight, how I look, not being comfortable, and I've gotten at a much better place with that stuff. But a lot of times, stuff like Final Fantasy or like a superhero movie or whatever is motivation to be like, you know what, I want to change something about myself. I want to get better and be better. A really good example for me personally is Final Fantasy 15. I played that game about a year after it came out. And I had like a 9-year absence with Final Fantasy, just didn't play any of the games except for Dissidia. And I was going through a really rough time when I sat down to play 15. And that game was like medicinal for me. It helped me out in so many different ways and helped me get out of a funk and, want to try and be better. So to have these actors that understand that and they're not just going into the booth and saying lines. I think that it probably weighs on them to a degree when they're performing because they want to get it right. So that's huge.
Another thing.
I actually had a really amazing moment too.
Oh, please, Brianna, go for it.
I just...
I like Bree's shoes.
It was one of those moments that you're exactly talking about where it just really hit you how much this means to people. I was in Portland, and I was signing a print for an Aerith cosplayer and a Zack cosplayer. And I'm signing the print, writing my quote, and I look up, and the Aerith cosplayer is sobbing, like racking heaves and sobs, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I do wrong? What happened? And the Zack cosplayer has disappeared, and I'm like, what is going on? So I'm like investigating. The Zack cosplayer is on their knees proposing in front of my table because the moment of me signing a print for them was special to them. They love Aerith enough that this was the moment that they wanted to solidify their marriage.
That's insane.
And
That's so cool.
I mean, what am I supposed to do in the face of that? I mean, immediately, like, everyone starts clapping. We start cheering for them. Of course, she said yes, and it was just the most like beautiful like community moment where like we all got to share in a little bit of that love because of this game, and that was really, really, I'll never forget that ever.
That's so cool,
that.
man.
Should have bloody brought my box of tissues. My God, what a start. It's a very emotional Sunday morning, you guys. I know another way that you influence this lovely community, and I hear it on panels time and time again, is people want to follow your footsteps. Some people want to get into acting or do voice work or be on a stage. But everybody's entry is different. There's no one linear path. When people ask me that, I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like I stumbled here. Like, I'm not sure. So what would you say to someone who's nervous about taking the risk of creativity, because it is a risky life?
It's scary.
Changing your job or starting, what would you say? Because I know, Susie, did you work in an office before?
Yeah,
you did.
I didn't do any acting prior to this, like no training. I didn't go to school for it, so it wasn't really anything in the back of my mind to do. So
she's a natural. To not have any type of training, and she's got the range that she does. She can go from Yuffie to Sue Storm in Marvel Rivals. She was also Hinako in Silent Hill F. Her performance in that game is phenomenal. She's got so much range.
When I was presented the opportunity my job had let me go. So really from there I was like, well, do I want to do something for the rest of my life that doesn't really fulfill me or make me happy? Or do I want to try something that I've never done before and, take a chance on it? And so when I went to LA actually to maybe start this journey for acting, Yuffie was the first audition that I received coming to LA. So
That's insane.
I truly felt like it was such a fateful moment that clicked for me. I was like, and then once I got the role, I was like, maybe I should keep going. Maybe I belong here somehow. And I just never gave up. And I would say that once you make that commitment, I think the hardest thing to do is make that first step. But I think that once you're over that, as long as you don't give up, that's...
That's so great. That was your first audition. Oh my God,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's cool.
I think if I can speak to that for a second too, because I'm a strong believer in this, especially when it comes to creativity, whether it's something you want to do as a career or just something you want to just do and put your stuff out there because you want people to see it or experience it. I think the biggest mistake you can make is to wait until you're ready. You're never going to be ready. There's no such thing. You just have to sort of leap and trust that the net will appear, as Richard Horowitz loves to say. And it's true, like that fear, we have such a weird relationship to fear in our culture in particular. Like we see fear as the enemy, and so we waste so much time trying to sort of bow to it and be like, well, I'm afraid of this, that means I shouldn't do this. And sometimes that's true. Sometimes you should listen to your gut that says, hey, don't go down that dark alley at midnight. That's a good fear to pay attention to. But if it's something that's fulfilling, that like on the other side of this is freedom, then fear is just there to be something to work with. It's not the enemy. The best advice I was ever given in the booth as an actor, when I started out, I was nervous as hell. I had no idea what I was doing. I came from a stage background, grew up on stage my entire life, and so the booth was an incredibly artificial atmosphere where I'm like, I can't even swing my arms around. I'm a very physical actor, and so those constraints really, really messed with me. And I was nervous, and I was worried about making a good impression, and can I do the job? Am I messing this up? All the things we think all the time about everything because we're humans. And my director was like, hey, man, you are wasting so many precious calories on trying to pretend, for my sake, that you're not terrified, that you've got nothing left over for the performance. So just let yourself be scared and do it anyway. And then it'll turn into something else. And when you kind of embrace the fear and stop fighting it, like, when you're in the booth, like physically, the reason the fear and the nerves get in the way is because you're fighting it. And so, you clench up, your voice starts trembling because you're trying, nope, can't let them see that I fear. It's like there's this fear that the director or the producer is going to be like, wait a minute, you're afraid. You're not an actor. Get out. And it's weird, the stories we tell ourselves. And then, but that advice and the advice is the fear is, if we were to, when you're feeling you're most fearful about something you really want to do, we could put you under like an EKG or something, and all the same areas of your brain and your nervous system are lighting up as though you were excited, as though you were having the best time of your life. The only difference is the story you're telling yourself about what your body is feeling. And if you can change the narrative, you can run with it. And fear then becomes raw power that can fuel the performance. Some of my best work comes from me being scared out of my mind. So yeah, don't wait till you're ready, and don't try to fight the fear. Hold its hand and just be like, bitch, we're going.
Hell yeah.
See, this is what I talk about when you get like genuinely good life advice. You don't just get stuff about the games. This stuff is so relatable. And I think we've all been in situations, probably, where you're in a position and you're like, well, I can't back out now. So you just do it. And then you get over it and you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad. But it's the fear that we build up in our heads of like, no, you can't do that. Failure is terrifying. Like I do YouTube, which is relatively simple, but I got nervous doing this the first time. I remember I used to make videos when with my friends, and we would do podcasts talking about gaming news. And then one day Capcom had uploaded this mysterious countdown timer on their website. And I'm like, oh, I really want to talk about this, but my friends aren't ready or they're not interested. And then I'm like, I don't need them. Why am I waiting on them when I can just do it myself? And that's how my channel, got started. So I still get nervous to upload videos. I don't know how people are going to react or what they're going to say. I get mean comments every once in a while, which sucks. But this is wonderful advice, man. Like, you just got to do it. And especially when it comes to acting, like that's something that I studied in high school, did 2 years worth of it. I loved it. I'd love to do it professionally. No idea where to start, but I would just do it if I could. That was lovely.
I love that. Lean in. Lean in.
Think about it, though. Think about it. If you dare to fail, at least you made the first step.
Yeah.
So if you sit back and don't do anything with it, you ain't gonna do nothing. So would you rather take the chance, or would you rather sit back in the fear, as you say, and not even be in the running? If somebody gives you a ball and you throw out the first pitch, Are you going to say, no, I don't want to do this, drop the ball and walk off the mound? Or you're there, you're already there. And like Jay said, he was in the booth and someone who was running the thing said, hey man, it's all good, do your thing, right? If you're in the booth, you already got the job.
It's true.
That's true.
Dare to fail.
Thanks,
Failure is scary, but failure is also experience, you know?
John. Before we're going to play a game in a
people
second
are lovely.
and then go to fan questions. Oh, John's like,
Hold on,
It's okay.
actually, I want to add something
Oh,
to what everyone
please.
said.
Go
right?
for it, Cody.
I started acting when I was a child, right? I think
A child.
7 years old is when I started. I'm about to be 31 in April, and this is the only thing. Yeah, what? What'd you say?
damn.
You said damn?
He's not even that old.
You're right, actually. It's my bedtime. Let me go to sleep. But look, I've been doing this my entire life, and I think what I'm most grateful for is that I was exposed to something that I absolutely fell in love with and felt an immense amount of passion for at such a young age, because it gave me a sense of direction that I was able to commit to. Reason is important, right? I think pursue anything, whether it be in this creative field or whatever it is that inspires you, because you love it. Because I'll give you the very honest truth, right? Like, there's high highs, there's low lows. All the things that people think are shiny gold in fields of entertainment, attention, it's fleeting. Money, it can come and go. I've spent a majority of my life actually broke and struggling before, like 80 to 20%, right? Like, the ratio is kind of whack. But I think pursuing something out of love is never the wrong choice. And I think anything in the world of creativity, mindset is important. Like, why are you doing this? Mm-hmm. A big thing for me is, like, you know, I have my own personal reasons of why I love it, and you know, those are my selfish reasons, but you know, it's this that means the most to me, connection. I think connection in this lifetime with other human beings going through what I refer to as like the human experience. This is like a vessel for it, right? And regardless of the medium, whether it's stage or voice work or film and television or music or painting or sculpting or whatever it is, right? I feel that is so important because we're all kind of going through this, just figuring it out daily. So any opportunity that you can have, if you're willing to put yourself out there, I think it's incredibly brave. And I just want to say, like, I encourage it. But I think the point that I'm trying to make is if you love it, and kind of what Susie said, if you really love it, make that decision, regardless of how it's going, regardless of how many brick walls you have to run through. I don't think it's the wrong choice, and I'm a firm believer in it, and I'm trying to practice what I preach, and that's why I'm still here doing this. So, yeah, go for it, 100%.
Thanks, Cody. Thank you. Okay, we're going to play a wee game called Existential Chicken. Who's already witnessed this game? Hands up. Cool. Wow, quite a few of you. All right, okay, great. So we're going to play
They're going to be
Existential.
very prepared, and we are not at all.
They don't know. It's okay, right, guys? It's fine. You're safe.
They
You're
get to
safe.
play too?
No, you guys are going to
Oh.
play. So it's really easy, and after we play this game, we're going to hand it over to the fans and hear from you
nice.
guys. So I'm going to pass along Gilbert the chicken.
I'm obsessed with this chicken.
This is Gilbert. It's not just this chicken, it's Gilbert. Thank
Gilbert.
you.
Sorry,
Yes.
Gilbert.
Address
Sorry,
him
Gilbert.
by
I'm
his
obsessed
name.
with you, Gilbert.
And you're going to reach into the chicken and pass it along and just pick a card, read it out, and then answer the question. That's it. So welcome, guys, to Existential Chicken. All right, go
It's
for
a
it.
Wii game like Wii Claire?
Yeah, it's a wee game. Go for it.
Okay. If your life had chapter titles, what would this chapter be called? I really should have studied for this. Hey, there's the chapter title.
Yeah.
I should have studied for this.
That's perfect.
I'm so excited to hear more of Jay in part 3, more of his Sid. He said he based the Sid voice off of his dad, which is super cool. But he's a wonderful actor as well, and to see what kind of range he could bring to Sid in part 3, because Sid gets into it in part 3. Going back to Rocket Town, his failed dreams of the space program, because he wanted to save Shara because she was in the intro. There's a lot in there.
All right, Susie.
It's hard.
Some of them are silly and some of them are difficult. Okay.
This is really existential. I mean,
She put it back. That's against the law.
You're not allowed to put them back.
oh wait. If
No.
if you could, I want to.
I made my own rules.
Okay, go on, Susie. Just throw in.
If you could replay one level of your life, which would it be? Like, yeah, this one.
Aw.
I would replay it over and over again. Over and over again. This experience.
I love
Absolutely.
Thank you, friend in the audience. Thank you. Thanks, Susie. Thank you.
You got help. That ain't fair.
Hey, thank you.
Phone a friend, John. You can phone a
I
friend.
know. Do I get a lifeline? How many lifelines do I
I
get?
think you guys have been the most scared to play this game this weekend so far. Okay, John, go for it.
If your life had a narrator, what would they sound like?
Morgan Freeman.
Well, Miss Daisy. My life, on the real,
Your life.
you got to go all the way back to Chicago. I think it'd be like a Cat Williams type thing where let's start where we got to start.
Yes.
He grew up in the hood. He started from the bottom of the bottom. It'd be like that. It would be straight Cat, because I love Cat. I love his voice, love his work. He's just special, and yeah, and it would still sound like Cat to this day. You're like, and then he had 4 children. Oh my God, you know.
Thanks, John. Right, Britt.
All right. If clouds had and not cloud, clouds. Okay? This is actually kind of a trick question, so let's all tune in Sunday morning. Okay. Including myself. If clouds had flavors, what would rain taste like? This feels like a trick.
That's such a high question.
So not the cloud flavor. Rain.
The rain.
Glacier freeze Gatorade.
A commercial.
And that's the only correct answer.
Sponsored.
I would like them to sponsor me too, okay?
I was gonna say that was a very shameless plug right there. Gatorade.
She's not wrong.
Okay, Brianna.
All right, I haven't read this yet. This says, what everyday item should be a power-up? I mean, matcha. That's really easy. Yeah, that is a power-up. Like, it's not should be, it is.
Okay, Cody.
All right, mine is if someone from 100 years ago saw your daily routine. Why are you laughing already? What would confuse them the most?
Oh God.
I'm trying to figure out how much I want to tell you guys.
Why you turn the card over? Cody, like, is there more?
No, also, why is John?
Turn it over. Like, oh, damn. I can't get out of this one.
Okay, I do this really silly thing. It's not bad. It's just silly. Every morning I wake up. I usually start my morning and I do some stretches and some like yoga poses and stuff just to get the body warmed up. And I go downstairs and I do some cardio on a treadmill machine. But before I do that, none of that's the weird stuff. This is the weird thing. Before I do that, I get on this little like vibration plate.
I see
You know what I'm
those
talking
things.
about? And I crank it like way up, and then I do like certain stretches, and then I look like Shakira, like belly dancing. It's apparently good for like the lymphatic system. I don't know. I got sold on it, and then I just like the tingly feeling it gives me. So yeah, I feel like that'd be pretty confusing to somebody seeing that. Like, why is he shaking his ass like that?
Okay, but like here's the real question, Cody. Do you like vocalize where on the beat? You're like
100%. Yeah, guilty.
Because like, come on, we're all 5 at heart. Luke, I am your father.
You just see Cody throwing it back. I've seen those vibration things have existed for so long. I remember there was commercials maybe like in the 50s where people had this band that they would wrap around themselves and they would sit there and it would shake them. And supposedly it gave you abs and burned fat. Whether or not that's true, probably not. But Cody is jacked. Just look at his Instagram. His bicep is like the size of my thigh. It's insane.
This was real cool. I got to see every girl's face going,
Oh, exposed.
I'd like to be a fly on the wall of Cody Christian's home. You didn't see that. You was all embarrassed. I was watching the girls' faces like, and some of the fellas was like,
I'm telling you, it is an actual cheat code. You do feel silly though, because if you crank it up to like a high intensity, it's like my ass be shaking.
I think you're gonna have to add a question to the chicken next time. Like, how do you feel about Cody being on a vibrating platform?
I'm just
Just
like,
throwing
now
ass.
for the next part of the panel, I do apologize, Cody. I can't stop thinking about your arse cheeks shaking.
Oh, God.
It's a sight, I'm telling you.
Guys, that was Existential Chicken! See, it wasn't so scary. It wasn't so scary. It was okay.
That was funny.
Guys, I told John about this maybe a day or two ago, and he was like, oh, no, okay, all right. So you guys, as you are doing, please mind your fellow fans, squishing, and can we please make it one question per person, if that's
I think
okay
this
with you, so we
panel
can
was
get through
sold
it.
out, along with the Claire Obscure
Okay.
panel. Those were like the must-see
My
panels.
love,
for
what
this,
is your name and what's your
convention.
question, please? Right into the mic, straight into the mic.
I am Savannah.
Hey, Aerith cosplay.
Well, this game has made me laugh a lot, and I just play
Another
imagining that
Aerith
there's got to
cosplay.
be times where you're in the booth and you're reading a line, and it has to make you laugh, right? I'm hoping so. So, what for each of you has that moment been?
I have one that's fresh on my mind, right? And it's like I'm gonna avoid giving context
Uh-oh.
because you haven't seen it yet. But there's
Part 3 spoilers. Let's clickbait the title of this video. Cody Christian gives remake part 3 spoiler.
basically something I'm not going to. And if I get anyone in trouble, come at me, no one else. I basically had to do a line where I was submerged in some water. And I'm
Brit.
like speaking, and I had to figure out how to make a sound that's like. I spent like 20 minutes in the booth trying to like figure it out, and I was like, "What am I doing? What is this?" So that was most recent. I mean, obviously there's countless memories of it, but that one got me a lot. I'm not gonna lie.
There's a lot of sequences that could be submarine stuff, underwater stuff, live stream sequence stuff. Yeah. Cody delivering a line as Cloud in the live stream. Obviously, I'm just throwing stuff at the wall.
Anyone
I look
else?
forward to it. Thank you.
Yeah, this is a classic. I mean, it's from Remake, so all of you are familiar with it. I know I've written it on a print this weekend already, but the first time that I found out that Aerith was going to curse,
The ladder.
I was just gleeful, like giggling to myself, like, I can't wait for people to play this. Yeah, it's when she's going through the rooftops with Cloud, and it's very like atmospheric and calm, and they're getting to know each other for the first time, and she's this flower girl, and she's poking fun at him, and she says, "I'm not some princess who needs to be coddled," and she falls off a ladder and then goes, "Shit." And she does in fact need rescuing, so that made me laugh.
Thank you.
Brianna captures that moment beautifully. And that's the thing I love about Brianna's performance. Again, Aerith has kind of changed over the years. It's a Cloud situation from Advent Children, where for the longest time, Cloud was portrayed as the darker, heavier, emo Cloud from Advent Children. And Tetsuya Nomura had mentioned in an interview a long time ago that the reason why you saw that version of Cloud show up in so many different things, like Kingdom Hearts, like Dissidia, was because that was the version of Cloud that people had become most familiar with, which is pretty nuts, which makes sense. Advent Children was huge. I think a lot of people forget how huge that movie was. It was like one of the most torrented films when it came out in Japan, and then people here in America were downloading it before we even had the English version, which is nuts. So people were more familiar with that Cloud, and I think it's the same with Aerith. Aerith in that movie is very ethereal, very soft-spoken, almost this goddess-like figure, but people forget she's spunky. She's got an attitude. She doesn't take crap from anybody. She sees through Cloud's facade. She tries to get to the heart of who he is. So Aerith is, she describes flowers as being tougher than they look. They're resilient, and that's Aerith, and Brianna nails it.
Thanks. Anyone else?
I'm just going to say ribbit.
Yeah.
The ribbit line.
Yeah. That situation is
is wild.
Thank you, my dear, for the question.
Good question.
Thank you. Hello, friend. What's your name and question?
My name's Luis. I'm from Glendale, Arizona. Okay, so I'm gonna be quick about it because I know we got
there's
a lot
a
of fans
Noctis.
behind me. Susie, Britt, it's great to meet you. Hey, bro, I respect your buff game. You got that rip thing going on, bro. It's really awesome. Anyways, so real quick, I haven't played Final Fantasy VII, but I will get to it. I swear to you, I promise you, that is on my list. But I know that there's a bit of romance in this, and I promise you, this is not a ship question. I know the rules. I will not ask that.
Oh, they had rules against ship questions? Good on you, Game on Expo. Holy crap. That can get so awkward.
Question is, if a person went up to you and asked you for romance advice, what advice would you give them?
Oh, that's a good question.
As our characters?
Or as characters, person, either way goes.
Oh, okay. Who's that for? Anybody?
Yeah, for
We
anybody.
need to know the situation. You can be like, hey, I need some romantic advice. You know, with a girl, or you know, you gotta let a brother know all the other
Look,
stuff.
there's no time to waste. Be respectful. Shoot your shot.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Good shit, Cody. Good shit.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
Great advice. Hello,
So
my dear.
you gotta go do what he just said.
Yeah, whoever you're subtly referring to, go for it.
The worst they can say is no. I've heard it a lot in my life. Once you face a lot of rejection, you don't feel a thing.
What's your name? Right into the mic. Your question.
Yep. Hi, I'm Victorino, and want to shout out Game on Expo, bringing Final Fantasy to Phoenix. Greatly appreciated.
Pretty cool.
Let's run it back though. Let's get the rest of the 7 cast in.
Yeah, let's
Matt
get
Mercer,
everybody.
I love that guy. Hopefully one day. Question is for that final battle against Sephiroth. Which 3 would you utilize for the final battle?
Oh.
Which 3 Final Fantasy characters?
Which 3 Final Fantasy characters would you utilize for
7,
the final
or-
battles? That we
Yeah,
said?
against Sephiroth.
Okay. Who wants to take that?
Well, you had to have Cloud, because obviously
You need Cloud.
he's not optional, so you kind of have to use him anyway.
That's right. That was in my contract. Not optional.
Yuffie, because obviously
She's so busted, dude.
she's busted though, for real.
Yeah, she knows. She knows ball.
I don't know.
Pick a favorite, Susie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Susie.
Yeah,
Who?
Susie.
I used Barrett because
Yeah.
like I gotta survive. Yeah, I gotta have my rock by my side. So yeah, Cloud, Yuffie, Barrett.
Thank you very much, friend.
I always use Cloud, Aerith, Barrett. Team, I like to call them, you came to the wrong neighborhood, motherfucker, because they're so good. Cloud gets in and does insane damage. Aerith is so broken when she gets those wards up, and she's got the strongest magic stat. Barrett can do ranged and up close, and he's a tank, and he supports. That's like my go-to team.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello there,
Okay, my love. What's your name and question?
Tade. Because there have been previous voices for the characters, how did you go about
I have that shirt.
changing the voice to make it your own, but still be relatively the same?
A lot of that just kind of is on the directors and how they'll direct you and their audition process. And they put out the sides. They ask for very specific tones and very specific accents in some cases. Like Sid, for example, they were specifically like, we would like someone that sounds like they're from like East Texas or in that area, Arkansas. And I'm like, I got you. And that was the direction they wanted to go. So they were already looking for actors that fit that bill. So the responsibility was less on us as actors to be like, oh, I've got to make this new. The writers, the adapters, and the directing team kind of did that for us. And because we sort of answered that need, we got the job, if that answers your question. So that's how we go about it. It's like any gig. We just do what the boss tells us.
Thank you, friend.
I'll speak on that too, actually, real quick. I think it's just being respectful to the process, paying homage to the work that's already been done, right? Again, like I mentioned earlier, like the IP is bigger than an individual. The character is bigger than my own identity. So just making sure that adequate work and prep is done with respect and kind of his point, right, is like it's less about you trying to make it something new and just existing as you are within the box that's already been created. Like thankfully my tone is already was pretty similar, so it was really just studying like the emotion behind who it is that I'm portraying and making sure I'm honoring that.
Thank
I
you.
wasn't gonna say nothing, but I gotta say something. I'm sorry. First
What?
of all,
You
I gotta go all the way back. Cody and I have had this conversation since Remake. I gotta say it. Listen, there were films that were done. That's where you first heard the voices.
Yep.
The OG game, there were no voices. This is called Remake.
Don't forget Kingdom Hearts.
Rebirth.
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts. I'll give you that.
Kingdom Hearts had voices.
But I'm talking about for so many
whole
of the other
cast.
characters, you heard the voices in the film. Like Bo Billingsley to me is like one of my heroes. It's like unbelievable. And they barely gave me any doggone words, and I was upset about that in Advent Children.
I think Barrett, you can count on one hand, maybe two, how many lines Barrett has. Red 13, no joke, I think has one line in Advent Children, and it's at the very end. So a lot of that cast was underutilized.
But the original game had no words. They were written, they were scripted. So we had to study and see the people who went before us and set the pace, as Cody said. But this game brought words.
Yeah.
So when people got all upset about, man, I can't believe they're replacing the there were no words.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sorry, just there were no words. Now there are words. So I hope we did a great job for you, but
Yeah, that's. I never really thought about that. We never heard the previous cast with the original lines of that game. It was just Kingdom Hearts, Advent Children, the compilation stuff. So this is our first time like hearing these characters speak in regard to that story in that game, OG FF7. Well, you get what I'm saying.
Thanks, you guys. Thank you for your question. Thank you. Hello, my love. Right up to the mic. Name and question.
Hello, I'm Amanda. I wanted to know, what was your favorite line or scene that you recorded from parts 1 or 2?
for me, everybody, especially Marlene stuff.
Anyone else want to take that?
My favorite line of all time, and I've said this to multiple people that have come up and I've signed things for, is, and I think it took a special place in my heart because it was quite literally one of the first 5 lines I ever recorded. It was Cloud saying, "Not interested."
Yeah, that's a good one.
I just feel like it's such a perfect encapsulation of like who he is and what it represents, and it just became like the line that always stuck with me. And every time I do a session, I always like spam that line like 15 times just to make sure I'm
Gotta
right
find the
mentally
voice.
and
Yeah.
tonally and all that kind of stuff. But
That's a classic line.
It's so hard to pick favorites with Yuffie because she's just so fun all the time. But I guess like the moments that stand out to me the most is when she's not super hyper and happy, when she's actually really grounded and mature. Like her scene with Sonon when she's trying to calm him down. So I hope we get to see more of that in the next part, to see her growth beyond just the happy little sister.
Yeah, I would expect that in the Wu-Tai stuff, the family stuff, the loss of the culture, the I think it was gentrification was the word of Wu-Tai. A lot of layers to these characters, which I appreciate.
also, nailed it. Thank you. Moving on.
That's a great line.
Okay, let's just not discuss it. I just love it. I love it.
Thank you for that question. Hello, friend. What's your name? Right into the mic and question.
Thank you, Claire. So, hello. So my question is, if your characters had an ice cream flavor, what would it be and why?
That's a good question. I like questions like
If
that.
they had an ice cream, if they wanted to pick one. Okay.
If they were an
What would
ice
it
cream
be and
flavor.
why?
What's the flavor of ice cream that's a mix of all three? Is it Cosmo? Is it
Neapolitan.
Thank you. I don't know why I was gonna
Cosmopolitan.
reference the magazine. Neapolitan. There's a little bit of everything in there. You know what I'm saying?
Susie gave me this idea, so I'm stealing it from her. But for Sid, Rocky Road, absolutely.
Yeah, Rocky Road Sid.
I'm gonna say rum raisin because there's rum and she's a bartender.
Anyone else?
I think Aerith would like a super cracked out flavor. like a flavor where they just like take every Halloween candy and put it in the ice
Oh,
cream.
yeah.
Like that's what she'd be into, I
Moose
feel.
tracks. Bunny tracks.
What is it called? Cotton candy? No. That's not it. I say that with love, but that's not it. No, it's got to be
So
something
matter of fact.
super weird and
Yeah.
just way over the top.
I think Yuffie would be cotton candy though. Yeah, definitely. With sprinkles. Yeah.
With some sour twists in there.
With them gummy worms in it, you
there.
know, put some M&Ms in there, Reese's Pieces, like just fulfill it
John,
all up.
I need to hear your answer, dude.
Double. Double chocolate.
Yeah. I like the way you think, John.
You know.
Good answers and good questions.
Very appropriate.
What was your flavor, bro?
Double chocolate, man. I didn't say it loud enough.
I got you.
Double chocolate, baby.
Man.
Thanks. Hello, my friend, right up to the mic. What's your name and question?
Hi, I'm Eddie Daggett, originally from Montana. So my question is, it's a little silly. So in the original in Rebirth, we spent a lot of time at the Golden Saucer. So my question is, how into Chocobo race gambling would you guys be?
Chocobo race gambling will we be?
How into it?
How into it will we be? As our characters?
I feel like Sid would be really into it. I don't know. Just a guess.
Brother, I feel like you'd be running it. It would be your operation.
He'd be up there running this underground ring. All right, I got $5 on the yellow one. Yeah.
Anyone else want to chip in? All good? We're good. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you. Hello, my friend, right up to the mic. What's your name and question?
Hi, I'm Deontay, and what I like to ask is, which place did you like the most in Final Fantasy Remake?
Which like location in the game? For me, it's gonna be either Sector 7 or Nibelheim. Just because there's a lot of moments that happen that are near and dear to me with the character.
I like
The vibes of Sector 7 slums at night. Immaculate.
Costa del Sol. It's so fun.
Oh yeah, that music is in my head right
and
now.
the music, yeah, it's such a chill time. Love it.
It reminds me of the San Diego Hotel because it's similar.
Really?
The one I really like was the outdoor festival because I like going places, and the one I'm going next week is the Foodie Land. So look forward to it.
Foodie Land?
Group trip to San Diego.
Let's go.
You drive?
Sure.
Okay, now we're going to the next question. We've got this person here who wants to answer. I can't get the mic, so go for it.
Thank you. Giovanni. I'm from the Bay Area. I met some of you earlier this weekend. My question is, if you could assign anyone else from the cast to play any other video game character, who would you pick and why?
Ooh, that's a cool question.
I got my answer right away. I'm so sorry. I would put John as Master Chief in Halo.
Oh, that would be sick.
That's an honor.
Put him in there.
Oh, yes, you're in it. Yeah, Tifa. Yeah, I'm Tifa. Brit's in it, so yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny just because I think Devil May Cry Cody. You know, I mean that would be some.
That'd be some range.
I just think that'd be special right there. But to be on your team, I'm good. I'd be on another team with you.
I don't remember which Halo Brit's in. Is it 5 or is it Infinite? She's in one of those later
I just
ones.
heard someone say Bree as Kratos. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
With the coloring and everything.
Absolutely.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
really hot.
Yeah.
That'd be really
Boy,
cool, Breezy.
You know?
Yes, I need some kind of Photoshop wizard to post that up immediately right after this. Get the memes going. Hello, my friend. What's your name? And right up to the mic question.
Hello? Okay. Sorry, first time. My name is Reese Jove. I'm from Columbus, Ohio, and I flew all this way because I'll be frank, this is my favorite game of all time, Rebirth
Same.
specifically, and it's because of you all. It's kind of embarrassing to say, but as I was playing this game, I kind of truly felt like the characters were like my friends.
Oh, yeah.
Just because of your all's performances. And they just were a lot deeper. And my question is, like, going from the first one, Remake, to this one, was there anything like you attribute to, like, any changes you might have made or anything you really wanted to nail specifically with this second entry, just because you all felt so much more natural as the characters in this one?
You feel the
How
bonds.
do we do that without, like, you know, like, how many people have finished? How many people haven't played Rebirth?
Oh, spoilers.
Yeah, I don't want to give any spoilers away.
I could speak vaguely on it, right? I think for me, it was really just like, it was a comfort and confidence thing, right? I think like the nerves subsided. Speaking character specifically, I think a version of Cloud that we see throughout the first game is very guarded and very protected and minimal, right? And throughout the second game, there's moments where personality starts to shine and vulnerability breaks through. So my main objective from day one, and especially in this like the last installment, is just humanizing it as much as possible, right? We're in this fabricated place and the reality is so removed at times, but I think the priority being like how rooted and grounded can we keep this regardless of the scenario performance-wise, like that is what drives me. And I think I speak for like everybody, like, you know, sometimes there's insane things where we turn into frogs and, you know, but then but when it's serious, it's serious. So I think just the discipline and the decision to like, all right, as human, as real, as authentic as we can make this performance, we look for it, whether that's through the subtleties or the nuance or just whatever plays out in whatever scene. Like that's my priority. So I'm happy to see that it resonated with you.
Yeah, no, thank you guys.
Thank you for coming all the way out.
You hear the growth too with Cody and Brianna specifically. Like Cody said, in Remake, Cloud he's lower in his tone. His voice is a little deeper because he's guarded. And then in Rebirth, he opens up so much more. And you hear the lightness in his voice. Same with Brianna. She got way more comfortable, I think, in the booth as Aerith in Rebirth. And she's got a lot of heavy lifting to do. There are scenes where she's like potentially live stream Aerith speaking through main party Aerith, and she's delivering exposition, and like the demeanor of her voice completely changes.
Come to the table and I'll tell you mine.
This is going to have to be the last question.
Oh, no.
Person, please don't look at me in the eyes. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, but
Judge her, judge her, judge her, judge her.
Cody, no.
This better be good.
Hey,
So no pressure.
I'm
No pressure.
honored to be the final here. I got to tell you, so this isn't even a question. So I am going to date myself a little bit, but I just want to try something. Where are all my 1997 OGers at? So my name is Nick, and it's been a pleasure meeting all of you.
Well, Ashley Graham.
I have to say, Final Fantasy VII, the original game, was my favorite game of all time. It shaped much of who I am today.
Oh, yeah.
And it would have been so easy to screw this thing up. And so I have told, I think, each and every one of you that from a casting perspective, it was spot on. All of you embody your characters so well.
I like this guy.
You did it so much justice. And I think that for those of us who have been on this journey for the last nearly 30 years, I just can't even imagine a world where we would have gotten something better than what we got. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for bringing so much life to these characters and giving us, a better experience to continue to journey on with, and for bringing a whole new generation up.
Hey, big.
May that man's pillow always be cold.
Look, I've said this multiple times this weekend, and I just want to take another moment to express the gratitude. This is the first time I've ever really been able to pop up to a convention as Cloud, and
Which we're so happy you joined
Yeah,
us.
it's so cool, man.
We love you, dude. This is exciting. I told people that you were going to be at this one like way back when. I'm thrilled. Whenever we get together, it's a beautiful thing. But when you're with us too, man, it's just next level. So thank you.
No, thank you guys. Thank every single one of you. I don't even want to say that I'm surprised, but it was the perfect amount of reassurance and affirmation to hear from real people, such as yourself, man, that it's like, I've been on this journey. This means the world to me, and to show up and to be told so many times of like, hey, like, I see you, I hear you, I feel it, we fuck with it. Like, it makes me feel like all of the hours, all of the effort is like, it's worth something. It paid off. So thank you guys so much. Like, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate it.
I know I didn't get my question up there, but My thing is, my dad passed away 3 months before the game released, and you guys really got me through it. As a teacher, as a service member,
My man.
I couldn't quite hear the last bit. It was really loud.
No. This is going on.
But do you have a vibrating machine?
Thank you very much for standing up, and thank you. Can we have a round of applause before we wrap up for the fan questions and the fans?
I couldn't hear the last section. It was so
Thank you,
loud.
Claire.
Thank you.
We love when you conduct our interviews, baby girl. You bring it out for real, and you make it so comfortable. So we love you. Thank you.
Yeah, can we get a big round of applause for our amazing host? Now you have to pull a thing out the chicken.
What was that?
I said, now you have to pull a thing out of Gilbert.
You want me to do
Play
what?
Existential Chicken.
Shit.
Tell us what Gilbert wants to know.
If your life had a tutorial level, what would you teach? How to dress like a rejected golden girl? I made it, Mom and Dad! Let's go! Guys, please stay for our stage selfie and give it on up for J. Michael Tatum, Susie Young, John Bentley, Brett Barron, Brianna White, and Cody Christian! 50% louder! 60!
That was fun. Oh, they did a panel too with the Claire Obscure cast. That's cool. Props to the devs at Sandfall. They just announced that Claire Obscure surpassed 8 million sales. That's huge. That's going to help them massively with their next game. That's super cool. But I couldn't quite hear the last little bit here.
This is going on.
But do you have...
My man.
No. This is going on.
But do you have a vibrating machine?
I couldn't quite make out what was said there.
Machine.
No. This is going on.
But do you have a vibrating machine?
Are there captions? I cannot hear. There's auto-generated. Maybe it'll help.
My man.
No. This is going on.
But do you have a vibrating machine?
Thank you very much for standing up, and thank you.
I couldn't make out what was said.
Before we wrap up for the fan questions and the fan.
Was he shooting his shot with Cody? I couldn't make out what was said. Yeah, that last question. They could have easily screwed this up. And for some people out there, they feel that Square Enix did. I disagree. I loved Remake. I love Rebirth. You see the love and the passion put into these games in every square inch of these games. From the writing to the actual development team to the voice actors on English, Japanese, all the different languages that they do. It's very clear everyone cares about these games. They care about the characters. They want to get it right. I feel that they are. I get that there are people that want it just like a one-to-one remake, but I think it's super cool what they're doing. They're throwing in new stuff that makes you question, like, what's going on? And considering FF7 OG is like one of the biggest, most recognizable games of all time, this whole remake project is insane. And it's so special because I don't think you'll ever see anything like this ever again. To take a game so beloved and do a remake, but you're like, you know what? We're not just going to do a small remake. We're going to try and do this justice and split it into 3 parts to really give it its due. I don't know if that's ever going to happen ever again. The closest maybe you would get to that is what they're doing with God of War, remaking the old trilogy. But even then, those were their own separate games that that came out back then, and those are getting remade one after another. This is one game being remade as 3 parts. It could have easily gone off the tracks, and it almost did. when they outsourced to CyberConnect and things just seemingly were not going well. So they brought the project in-house and were like, we're going to do it ourselves, which was probably the right move. I like to sometimes say that there's a world out there maybe where we have a 7 remake that just sucks. But we got lucky. I think what they've produced with this game so far is phenomenal. I love this cast. They're all really wonderful people. Great life advice again, that as they give, you get the character tidbits, but just to see them all together, they have such great chemistry with one another, and it's fun to see them take fan questions, because it kind of, even though they screened the questions, which was smart, or they at least had rules rather for the questions of like no shipping stuff. It's just cool to hear their take on the characters and what the fan base means to them, because this game is something that is so special to so many of us. I remember playing this game back when it came out in '97, and like me and my sister at the time, we had come off of Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, and we were used to those types of games. So we had never played a type of game that was like an RPG. This was my first RPG, my first JRPG. I didn't know anything about these types of games. And to play something that was so cinematic, that had these deep characters, that a game that was entirely reading, which I think is why my reading comprehension as a kid was so good, is because I played FF7. But we had never had a game that had multiple discs, where you finish one disc and then you go on to the next one and the story just keeps going, and it ends up being hundreds of hours long. We were used to like stomping on Goomba heads and running around as Sonic, or playing like beat 'em ups or whatnot. So to have a FF7 just come in and completely change how I viewed video games, it's insane. And these characters just mean so much to all of us. We're coming up on 30 years now that these characters have been a thing. And there's obviously been some rough patches. The compilation, it's hit or miss. Advent Children, from like a writing standpoint, not great. I think there's grains of good stuff in there with what they're trying to do, specifically with Cloud, but like it's a very influential film. Crisis Core, I think the second half is really great. Dirge is Dirge. Some people really love it, but this is, I think we really lucked out, man. We lucked out so hard for them to take that project in-house. And I know it sucked for a lot of fans who, wanted the OG cast to voice these characters, but I think we got a phenomenal set of actors taking over these roles. And like Cody said, this is an IP that is bigger than them. It's bigger than us. We could have FF7 stuff 40 years from now, and it'll be different actors. We could have stuff 20 years from now that might be different actors and different takes on them. So it will always live on. People will always have their favorite iterations for sure, but they've just done such an incredible job, and they understand how important it is to get it right. And I cannot wait to see part 3. I know there's a lot they can't say. Cody kind of teased like there's a water scene or he's submerged in some sort of liquid, which is kind of interesting, but man, what a wonderful cast. Lovely people. Again, I cannot wait to hear more from J. Michael Tatum, his Sid, more from Susie. Everyone's just so phenomenal. What are they going to do with Brianna and Aerith? How often is she going to pop up? We're going to go to the live stream with her. So this was fun. Just to hear from the actors, and I'm always interested in like the process of what they go through to find the character and get their performance in the booth. That stuff's always been very interesting to me. And then just like little moments like this where
Pick a favorite, Susie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Susie.
I used Barrett because
they're all so great. Just like the chemistry between all of them. It's wonderful. And again, to see Cody, make an appearance for FF7, super cool. I think it already happened, but I think there was a convention a couple of weeks ago where Tyler Hoechlin was there for Final Fantasy VII. That was his primary promotion, was Sephiroth, which is super cool. So to see all the actors really open up more, and for Tyler in particular, he was very open about how he wasn't aware of how large Sephiroth and FF7 was, and being at these conventions has really opened his eyes. So I thought this was super cool. So much fun to watch these guys just, shoot the shit and talk about what these characters mean and what the fan reaction means. Did I add anything? Probably not. But it's super fun to watch these. So again, there'll be a link in the description down below to just the panel if you would like to watch that on its own. I've done some previous panel reactions in the past. It's so much fun to just get their insight on this project. And I hope one day they're able to pull off a panel that has everyone who voices a main character. I think it'd be cool to see a convention where they're all able to meet up and speak on, what these games are. That would be huge. But that being said, I'm Curious Corduroy. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of this panel with the cast of Final Fantasy VII Remake project. It's just, we got lucky, man. This could have gone so wrong. And I think it just came out phenomenal. But I am Curious Corduroy. I will see you guys in the next video. Please remember to always be excellent to one another. I almost got distracted again because I saw Brit, and I don't know. My brain just goes to mush. She's wonderful.